Today we're going to put your name on the middle of your folder, and I'm going to show you how to colorize it, give it some highlights and shadows, and make it look 3D. Anytime you have a square or a rectangle, if you connect the corners of the rectangle, you can find the center. I'm going to draw very dark, but I would like you to draw very light because you'll be erasing these lines. I'm connecting the corners of the rectangle, and I found exact center. This will work anytime you've got a square or rectangle. All right, now I'm going to want to put my first name, as I like to be called, in the middle here. All right, here I have a little scrap piece of paper that helps you decide how large you'd like your name. Now, usually when you write your name, you just use a pencil and simply write it, and then the letters are thin. They're as thin as one line. But we're gonna make our letters have some mass to them. So what I'd like you to do is, using a style you like, but you're gonna stretch it out and make it big. And I'll show you why in a minute. Say my name is Anne. I'm going to write my name, kind of let it take up some space. We kind of want to max it out if you can. That could be a little thin. I might just let that end take up a little more space. There we go. And you can make it decorative and fun. What if I wanted to mix my capitals? I could do that. If you want to do something for style, do it for style. It's fun. This is art class after all. I am going to decide if I want bubble letters or block letters. If I want bubble letters, I'm just going to surround those lines I did with sort of a cushion, if you will. And then here I'll do a hole, and it follows the same depth of that cushion that I created. All right. You can have fun here and be decorative if you like. You could add cute, goofy things or decorative things if you like. And you can see why now, because we're thickening your letters. That's why we started by kind of spreading your letters out. If you've got a long name, you may need to make it a little shorter to fit on the slip. Just kind of customize it to your own preferences. If I would like to make a block letter instead of a bubble letter, I'm going to use a ruler to thicken my letters out. Okay, just thicken them on out. Take a moment and erase all of your center lines. Let's look at how this transfer paper works. All right, I got my name on the transfer paper. Which side of the transfer paper? Wait a minute, how do I put this? The grayish side goes up, the super black side goes down. Okay, I've got it like that. I've got the halfway point of my name. I know the halfway point of my paper. I am going to match them up. There we go. Halfway point, make it straight on the paper. I'm going to start tracing my A, so watch. I want you to trace pretty light because this is quite dark. Let's take a look. Okay, there is some of it. To show you that it doesn't erase really well, I'm going to try to erase it. Okay. And you can see it only kind of erases, so please draw lightly. Now I've got the trick of trying to match that A up again. So let me lay it over there and try to match it up. Good, because I don't want to put it differently. I want to match it. Okay, now I've got to be kind of subtle here. Get my transfer paper back under there. Okay, but that's it. Okay, hopefully it matches up. Let's see how we did. And this is another reason to draw light, because you may want to try to erase this, these lines, and you definitely want to draw light. There we go. Uh-oh, haha. I should have taken my own advice. I didn't match it up there where I moved it. But let's just move on. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna erase that old X. I don't need it anymore. I'm gonna erase this to the best of my ability. And you know, it's hard, it's just paper. Just do the best you can. I drew pretty dark because I was doing the demo, but I know you guys are gonna be smart and draw lightly. Okay, now I'm gonna go put the tracing or the transfer paper away. And when I put it away, I'm not gonna throw it in a big ugly mess. I don't know why, but students tend to just throw this into a big ugly mess, and then we have to arrange that. I'm gonna put it back with the other ones really nice on top of the pile. All right, now we're gonna color our letter in. You can do different colors, you can have fun, but I would like you to do it neatly. So here I've got pink, and the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to do a neat and tidy job of outlining it. And the outline gives me a thick border that I can match up to that can help me in the future, so let me show you. So I've done a nice thick border, and now I'm going to take my time and not be in a hurry. And if you've ever seen them mowing lawns on a golf course or somewhere nice, you know that they sometimes like to mow them in a row. I think on some grass playing fields they do the same. And if you kind of follow that tradition, you can lay your marker color in nice tidy lines, and it's going to give you a neat appearance for your letters. See, I went over a little bit, but that thick outline that I put down first gives me a little buffer zone or a little safety zone for my marker edges. So if they're not perfect, it doesn't matter because I did that outline. I'm going to take my marker and fill in a couple dots wherever there's white spots. Okay. My next thing is that very lightly with my pencil, I'm going to establish a sunshine or a light is on in the room. I'm going to draw this lightly because I'm going to erase it later. And I know that there's rays of light coming out from the light source or the sun. Okay, they're going to go that direction. I hope you can see it. I'll draw it a little darker for the video. Okay, there you go. So that's how the light is going. That helps me establish a light source. So let's establish some highlights. I have here a nice colored pencil. It's a specialty pencil called a Prismacolor. We always keep them together because if these go with the other pencils, people can accidentally wreck their artwork because they don't always play nicely together. Got a small sharpener. These are always in the supply area. When you sharpen your pencil, make sure and do it over the trash can. Okay. All right, so you'll just sharpen like this. I'm catching my little shavings so I can get them over to the trash can. Leave a little bit of your marker color and come back just a smidge, okay? Just a smidge. And I'm just putting my pencil, my white pencil, where the light would be hitting the letter. I'm not going to put it on the back side because that's where the shadows will be. And I think the light could possibly hit in here a little bit because this is close to the light source. This is close to the light source. Okay, so I've got some highlights and that's nice. Now, I'm going to show you how to make a little bit of a blend. I'll do it in a dark color so you can actually see. So if you put a line in somewhere, you can make a blend by following it up with about 1,000,000 circles. Okay, 1,000,000 light circles. And what you're trying to do is you see this is a sharp line? You're trying to look like there's no sharp line here anymore. So if there's a sharp line, keep going with the circles, okay? Keep going with the circles. You're pressing really light, and you're just building up many strokes here. Many pencil strokes are going to build up that soft, blended feel. If you see a hard line, I still see a hard line here. Go back and blend it out. Now, I did that in blue so you could see it. Let's go over to the A. And I'm going to blend out on the side opposite of the sun with a million small circles, okay? And I'm going to start to get a little bit of 3D feeling. And if you'll remember, that's called form. Form is when something looks like it is actually three-dimensional, like an object, like something sitting on the table, like a real object, not like just a flat shape. There we go. So we're getting a little 3D. We're ready to do some shadows. I'd like to urge you to reconsider black shadows. Black is not a good shadow color. It really rarely exists in nature even. Now I can go right up over the marker on this side. I don't need to leave any little margin, like we left a little margin here, not doing it here. Okay. Now on the opposite sides where the sun is not hitting, I'm going to do a hard, dark line. What color? Any color that's darker than your marker. Once again, I would like to urge you away from black. It tends to not look real. It tends to flatten your colors out. Shadows are actually, well, they can be many different colors based on the lighting conditions in an area, but they're often a darker version of the main color. For instance, on a red shirt, a shadow might be a dark red. I'm not going to be picky here about this, but I would just say find a color that you think looks pretty with your color and is darker than your color. So I've done the same technique of dropping in a line, doing a million small circles. And I'm starting to get that 3D feeling. All right, so now I'm going to keep going all the way across with my letters, and when I'm done, carefully come in and erase but any residual guidelines that I might have. And in the end, you're going to have a nice centered name. It will look good. You can always use that for all kinds of things that you do. And this is what we call a marker rendering.